Hey everyone, welcome back. You're still with us on the Sunday edition of the C Morning Show, and we're almost at the halfway point of our program, and it's high time for our first discussion of the morning. And we know that there are so many things that could connect people across the borders of Southeast Asia, including ourselves here at C Today as well.
Of course.
And one of the things that we often like to discuss is fashion, but today we're particularly going to talk about streetwear, and we're going to dive into a collaboration that has just taken place between three prominent streetwear countries in Southeast Asia, which is Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Now, joining us today in the studio are Hugh, the co-founder of Pestle and Mortar Clothing from Malaysia. We've got Thomas Aswani, the co-founder of Asia's Galaxy from Indonesia, as well as Emil Javier, the co-founder of Don't Blame the Kids, or DBTK, from the Philippines. And we're going to talk all about this exciting three-way collaboration. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks
for
having us.
I just want to jump into this real quick because this is such an interesting collaboration that all of you have participated in. So what's the inspiration for all of you collaborating in one statement like this?
Go ahead. Well, basically, it's all about getting like-minded people together, and streetwear for us is not just about clothing, but it's about people over product, right? And Southeast Asia, we have a lot of similarities between all our countries and our cities and the type of things that we're into. And we really felt like we wanted to unify that. And that's literally what this collection was all about.
Okay. Now, each of your brands have a different kind of, I would say, different inspirations, different styles about them. So, Asia's Galaxy, I'm familiar because Thomas happens to be a friend of mine. And basically, you like connecting people, you like giving a platform to showcase people's individualities and characters. But let's talk about PMC for a second.
Yeah.
We know that you like to tell stories. What sort of stories do you like to tell?
That's right. So I think the first question when we started PMC back in the day was what's going to be setting us apart from all the other, thousands of brands out there, right? I think a lot of it has to do with our identity, who we are and our experiences. And for PMC, that is really sort of the core backbone of it. We want to be able to tell stories of, where we're from, sort of growing up, and on top of that, I think, especially for this collaboration, how do we expand that? Okay. Like what Tamish was saying as well, Emil as well was mentioning that, Southeast Asia has great stories to tell. So, three of us sort of coming together to try to amplify that message.
Oh, awesome.
And if we shift over to the Philippines, DBTK likes to empower the youth. Why do you feel that's important in streetwear?
Well, we started the brand because of our inspiration with other people. And we want to show to the world that we can do things as a youth. We can empower things for them to reach for their dreams. So that has been our mantra for the past 12 years. And it was a story written by two people, now continued by lots of youth, or incoming, or aspiring youth.
Okay.
So it's like a vision moving forward.
12 years ago, by the way, they started selling streetwear out of the
Trunk of our car.
trunk.
Oh, wow.
Now they've grown to, where they are today.
Oh, look at you guys. I guess I'm so proud of yourselves here. Now, I do have a, more of a question here on the collaboration that you guys are doing. So you were talking about, Southeast Asia and so forth. So what do you want to bring out from the Southeast Asian community and message that you want to bring out to the world in a global scale?
Well, for Southeast Asia, we don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
Nothing happens overnight. If you're going to combine the years of experience the three brands had, it's almost 30-something years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've been doing our own thing, but we envision our brand to expand more for people to know what our story is as a Southeast Asia brand. So we're proud to say that I think we're on the right path.
I think a lot of times as well, when it comes to fashion, Southeast Asia, we're known for many things, but I think when streetwear, fashion, a lot of people tend to look to the West.
Yeah.
Yes,
100%. And I think a lot of times, Southeast Asia is underrated. We've got so many great things coming out from this region. And we've been talking about it this entire, 1 week of traveling through these three cities. And that's what we want to be able to share.
Okay, so this tour actually happened already in the Philippines, in Malaysia, and now basically rounded out here in Indonesia. So I want to talk about a little bit about the collection. So you guys decided on making a 4-piece collection, which included 3 tees. And I guess the best way to do it was each brand decided on one design for a tee, and then you came out with a jacket as well. So let's talk a little bit about design, because I think through the designs you'll be able to explain a little bit more about what the reason was behind each of your brands. So let's get started. Thomas, you go ahead with Asia's Galaxy.
Right, so with 3 brands, we basically all have 3 kind of identities, right? And so we had to make a set of ground rules on like what would be that one common message that we wanted to push. And it was see no bounds, see no borders. Basically a pun in itself, as in like S.E.A. instead of S.E.E. S.E.A. for Southeast Asia, but it sounds like C.
Just like how we do it here.
Familiar
See today.
No point intended, but like I guess
Correct.
future collab, you never know. But on that note, so we set that ground rule, and then we said, hey, let's do a very tight collection that represents all 3 of us, and one common jacket that will represent the whole drop.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have 3 products over here. I'll go with the first one. So. When you're doing a collection, we want to design it in a way that you kind of want to get everything, right? So we designed like a white tee, a black tee, and a washed tee. So just to add a bit more of an aesthetic.
Sure.
And then we also worked on a coach jacket.
Okay.
So we'll talk about the first one. We like to keep things clean and classic. So we have our logos represented on the front for the white one. And then on the back, we did like Southeast Asia fruits, you know, like the fruits that you would find in Southeast Asia. But they're also national fruits of like all our cities.
Correct.
All
So
our
the
countries.
durian from Indonesia, I presume. Okay.
If I remember correctly, the mango was Malaysia and the papaya was Filipino. It's the other way around. It's been a week bender, so we're a bit like. However, yeah, this is like something that really shows us as a unity of like when you come out to Indonesia or Southeast Asia, you got to try the tropical fruits, you know?
Of course.
And that's kind of like a fun way that we brought everybody together, right?
Cool.
So that's the white one.
All right.
And then here's the washed one. This one was designed by DBTK. The white one was done by Asia's Galaxy. Maybe you would like to share a little bit about this one.
I'll hold this one.
Well, DBTK has been into very colorful and graphics. This one is actually inspired by the Philippine flag. And then here is like the 3 stars is specifies the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia. It's like a bridge of 3 countries uniting together as one.
With the map as well there, right?
The maps.
So, and then there are like 3 people like holding their hands together like this.
Representing
together,
each,
collaborating.
each city, each country.
Okay.
Lovely.
And the cool part was a friend of ours, Gabe, who lives here, but he's from the Philippines, actually
Shout out
pointed
to
out that, shout out to Gabe. So the sun and the stars is actually like part of their national symbol as well. But it was sort of a twist on that, which made it like so that much cooler.
And then the third shirt was done by PMC. And then I think Hugh can like share a little bit.
So I think a lot of times, I think for all of these different designs that we do, when people look at it, we want them to be able to recognize certain icons. So for this one over here, we had like the national animals.
And there's a Garuda there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so you can see the Garuda. Obviously, we've got the tiger, and we've also got like the Kerbau. Right? And the way it works as well is that, you know, streetwear somewhat goes against the grain. We want to be able to, it's all about being a little bit mischievous as well. So these guys, they all sort of stolen the national artifacts. So you can see there the wow, we've got the Chris and whatnot. And just something a little bit fun and colorful.
So if you see, they're actually running away with each of their national
I
treasures.
think the camera can zoom in there.
Please do.
You don't catch that right at first.
No,
Me neither.
I just noticed the figures there. Like, there's a Garuda there.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of
Show
details.
them the back.
And then in terms of the back, obviously that main message that Tamish was talking about, you know, see no bounds, see no borders, and we've also got like the logos.
Lovely.
And we've got one more.
And the last piece to like complete the look is, so when we were designing the drop, we were like, we have to have one outerwear that you can like use on a daily basis. And the one commonality between all our cities is sun, and rain.
Yes.
You know? And we all have Grab Gojeks, and we all take those to work, commutes, and things like that. So we made a windbreaker.
Is it waterproof?
Waterproof. Yeah, it's waterproof.
Wow.
But we also were very considerate about like, the heat. So if you see on the back, like we've got like
vented underneath.
Yeah, it's got like a
Yeah.
vent,
Yeah.
like it's got a mesh that goes into, so airflow can go into it.
Alright.
So if you're on a bike or anything, you still feel like cool, I would say.
And I love that the tagline's right there.
Yeah,
Whoever
and
sees.
also, to protect you, we add reflective strikes on it so that, if you're crossing the streets, all our cities are so chaotic with
Yes.
like the streets. And you never know when a car is passing by and you need like a little bit of a
Good bit of a warning.
a spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why the reflective hits really work well. And on the front side, we kept it very simple, reflective details. We have like hardware if you want to hang a keychain or something. And pretty much kept it like very
A piece that you can
a piece
wear,
that you can
right?
wear anytime.
Yeah.
You know, like so that's pretty much the drop.
And,
that we did.
and it's really cool because the 3 T's kind of highlights your individualities,
Yeah.
but the jacket, the outerwear kind of combines. Like this can be worn literally in not just our 3 countries in Southeast Asia, but pretty much any country in Southeast Asia.
right.
Yeah.
And I think this collaboration basically combines 2 things. Basically, it unites, but it also shows the strengths and characters of each respective country.
And I love the message behind all of them too. Like as an
Great.
individual brand, you guys were able to, make one collaboration that has, an empowering statement really for everyone here, especially in Southeast Asia. Again, when you said earlier that, we don't have a lot of representation when it comes to streetwear, but when it comes to food, like the first T-shirt there,
Yeah.
that's what people know
Sure.
us for, And
National
I like that you
treasures.
put those, national treasures in your
yeah.
collaboration T-shirt.
And we get to talk about that.
Exactly.
And as Hugh said, like we're so enriched with like culture and creativity.
Yeah.
And these are the things that we want to highlight to the rest of the world, that there is actually cool stuff happening, and streetwear in Southeast Asia is super alive, you
Yeah.
know? And we're here to show that it's a real thing.
I want to expand on that just a little bit. We know that there are collaborators from the West now that love to collaborate with brands from Asia and Southeast Asia in particular. Where are we now on the global scale, do you think, when it comes to the streetwear industry? I know that a lot of times, back in the day, we used to look to the West, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But where do you place us now, in your opinions?
I think we are at our prime right now, and we are just getting started, I would say, because it took Ageless almost 12 years to get to where we are, and same for you guys, and you guys are a little bit more longer in the game.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 15.
15, right? And it's always harder for the Southeast Asians brands to get the name noticed on the map. We have to just put more effort.
Yeah.
You don't hear Jakarta all the time when you hear about fashion, right? You hear New York, you hear Paris, you hear
Milan.
LA, right?
Yeah.
And for us, like that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to tell the rest of the world that, hey, there are cool things happening over here, and it's not always about like sad things on the news like corruption and all that, but we actually have beauty within the chaos, and that's what we're trying to do,
Nice.
and that's literally all we're trying to do is connect like-minded people together.
Yeah.
I think also just to kind of add on as well, like, obviously each of us, we have our individual platforms.
Yeah.
We've managed to build this community. So I think a big part is that we've been extremely blessed and, given platforms like this here today to be able to spread the message,
Yeah.
but how else are we able to play a part in this?
Yeah.
To be a part of that ecosystem, because be it, music, artists, art, food,
Yeah.
we want to be able to be a platform for all these people as well.
All right.
So that's always the idea.
It's perfect. So, real quick, because I want to get the message out there as well, how can people get their hands on this collection? Because it's
Because
been
I want
released.
it. I need
It's
it.
been
I already
released-
know which one I want.
It's released in your respective countries, but people, it is available online as well. So perhaps, go
You
ahead.
could go first.
Go ahead.
Well, it's
In the
been available
Philippines.
in the Philippines since Monday.
Okay.
And I think there are some items that are
Sold out already?
Sold out.
Is that right?
But if
Okay.
you guys are, in the Philippine market, you can check it out in all our stores. There are 5 branches right now at DBTK, and also our online www.dbtkco.com.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
you?
over here in Malaysia, you can get it obviously from our website, pastelmotorclothing.com,
Okay.
also from our flagship store.
All right.
So yeah.
And for Aegis Galaxy, you could get it at aglxy.com, and you could get it at our flagship store in
Kamang.
In Kamang.
South
Yeah.
Jakarta.
Also, I think we're sending a few to Bali as well. We have a shop in Bali
perfect.
as well. If you're in Bali, you could drop by. But the best way to get it is aglxy.com.
So online.
Yeah.
So real quick, looking ahead, there's many other countries in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Triple collab is great,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
is there a chance that this can actually expand even further?
You know,
We're talking about
we're
this,
talking
right?
about
Wow.
it, and we are hoping to get another city, another country involved. And I think we're going to, when we started this, it was just Ageless and Pestle and Motor, just Indonesia and Malaysia,
Back
right?
in 2018, actually.
Yeah, and
That
then
we've
we
done
invited Philippines to get involved, and we'll keep it going.
All right.
Yeah.
I love how you guys introduce yourselves as the country. Like,
Yeah, I don't know,
we got
like,
Malaysia here, Philippines here.
I love it.
Streetwear ambassador.
Yeah.
Geopolitics in the
I know,
streetwear
it's
scene. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time
thank
to
you.
come.
Thank you so much, guys.
Congratulations
Really
on the
appreciate
launch
it.
and the
Appreciate
successful
it.
tour this past week. And enjoy the rest of your time here in
Of course.
Indonesia.
Eat lots of great food.
Yeah, they've been having padang yesterday.
Yeah.
Look out for more food coming your way. We've got this great host here. Thanks again, guys. Make sure you guys check out this collection. We're going to take a short break here on the program. We've got more talk shows, discussions, performances. And speaking of food, we do have a food segment coming up. Our signature segment, Yuk Masak. That's all coming up later on the C Morning Show. Stay with us right here. We'll be right back after the short break.
Wow.